Peace, greeting. Ooh, boy, I'm looking divine. Thought I was gonna say something there. Natural. Man, how am I gonna? It's not really something I can. Well, greetings to all. Peace to all. Um, yeah. Greetings, peace. How could I say this? I guess individually, I'm picking up on energies, and also um, collectively. Today, in what some may call is Baba Day or Father's Day for some. Um, I feel like I'm picking up on what also needs to be expressed that's also like suppressed. I would definitely say it's connected to childhood and more so um, a lot of rage. A lot of things are coming out right now that's connected with a lot of our men. And this is to our mothers, sisters, women that may not really understand what a lot of us are experiencing right now. A lot of us are currently expressing a lot of things that we have suppressed or has been suppressed from the root of what we've experienced with the matriarchal and both the patriarchal. Let me first start by saying this, because I don't even know how I'm gonna put all this together, but it's just gonna come out as is. For one, I will speak on myself. It's scary as fuck sometimes when you can walk through this world and you reflect sometimes because you never really saw or have seen what a divine masculine looks like or what a healthy father figure looks like. A lot of us men don't really have mentors. We've had to father and mother ourselves because you're talking about energy. So not only have we had to father ourselves back to life, but a lot of us mentally don't even get out of that. So a lot of things I share is because I'm really connecting to the oneness of men that have been in jail, in prison, castrated, crucified for simply seeking a love that they never knew exists within themselves. So a lot of us really never had, again, the closest thing we had to fathers were, I would say the closest things I had to a father or something that made me feel like something was probably like the mentors I maybe had in elementary school, and shout out to them, um, that we would have like a little gentleman club. And sometimes we are those same men and women, but I'm gonna speak from not just a son, but a father, because it's not so much of the day, you know, because I don't really care to get into the holiday things, but I do pick up on the energy because I do feel a way sometimes, because sometimes a lot of us as men can feel like we fail not only ourselves, but we have disappointed others for not living up to their expectations of what a man should be, how a man should be, and what a father is. And some of that is solely based on what our women have already experienced with men. So everyone technically is living their experience out from their own perception of their experiences. So that means the way I view a father will look completely different to the way anyone else views what a father is. And that solely can come from what they've experienced in their childhood and um, also whether that whether that look healthy. So a lot of us, again as men, haven't really seen that. So the energy I'm picking up on, even with myself, is that it doesn't matter how I look externally, physically, no matter how strong I look, no matter how much I try to keep it together externally, men hurt too. Men also go through things that we're told also to carry the load, carry your mother's and father's burdens, carry these things, and don't cry about it, be tough. Don't show it. You're supposed to work hard. Last time I checked, a rock was fucking hard. It's not only that our women have suffered from this because they're also taught to be in this so much of a wounded place. They've been wounded, so they have masked their emotions, so we're also affected by that. So for me to look like this, and then sometimes I have my moments where I cry when I'm writing, when I'm expressing myself, because I don't give a fuck how people view it. This is my inner essence crying out. These are suppressed emotions over a 30-something year span that, you're telling people, well, don't be yourself. Go be this. Go be the next basketball player. Go be the next football player. Not to mention, you're talking about a lot of these men who carry so much childhood trauma. So when they're out doing what they're doing, what are they really doing it from? Is it a feel to cover up their childhood woundings and to be in a position to feel like, this false perception of power? To give off this image as if they're more powerful than other men just because of their status, just because of what they have, as if being soft or being honoring the femininity isn't powerful in its sense, because doesn't the feminine give power from the darkness to the light so the man can have the authority, so the man could be and stand in his own power? Because isn't the man supposed to know who he is in the dark? Doesn't he learn these things from the mother? Doesn't he learn these things? So again, it's like I'm having to express these things because I don't give a fuck how people view this. This is for the men that are going to get out of these places where they've been locked away and then still trying to find a sense of peace, still trying to find a place in the world, with, the world itself so easily wants to judge people just because of, there's a thing called universal law. So no matter what we do or what people think they're getting away with, that energy, some way, somehow, even with myself, is going to find its way back to you. So this day for me, in all honesty, and this is also for the fathers, that men and fathers, that, because one thing I had to really sit with and accept is that a lot of what our behaviors that was displayed is because we didn't feel safe. I can honestly say that. A lot of unhealed and expressed emotion that became so overpowering, overbearing to some, is simply because I knew within myself it was just like a little boy that didn't feel safe. So you're talking about a sense of security, which we're all trying to look for, which we're all really trying to reclaim. That sense of security is within ourselves. So no matter how you see an energy or something displayed, people are looking for a sense of security. They're trying to find these things, and it's been masked with, people can have all this money but really don't know their value. I tell myself I'd rather be at peace to which whatever I receive. I'd rather be at peace emotionally, spiritually, physically, before I even try to pretend that what I have, there's a deeper fulfillment with that. You know, instead of trying to pretend that I gotta put on the front with y'all or anybody. It's okay to say sometimes where a lot of men won't say this. A lot of people are mentally like, I can say the term fucked up, but that's not in a harsh way, but it's in a way of just being honest with self. A lot of us don't know how to be that because we've been programmed so much to shelter these things and not express it, not to be angry. And there's a way of using what a sister would call Solar Ra would say, there is righteous anger. And that doesn't mean you have to harm people or do things to destroy them. It's just in a way where you're just simply, just speaking from your heart. And that's why I do, these videos and stuff, because yeah, there's times where I'm going to feel things. There's times where I've had interactions with people that's been confrontational, but I can tell you one thing from where I'm at now, it's been much better, because that's simply because my inner child, my inner essence craves for that peace. It desires to simply be secure again and be in an establishment where I can be secure within myself, accept all those versions of myself, and surround myself with people like that and not really gaslight that and try to gaslight me into believing I shouldn't express myself. Some of us are really want to be in a place where we can really express ourselves, however that looks, because you're talking about a lot of people who have been hoarding this thing, man. This shit is deep. You talking about a lot of people who have been hoarding so much. And that's what you're seeing displayed right now in the world. You got people that have been hoarding so much. And this is the shift. This is the stuff that men such as myself right now are so much attentive to. And this is why a lot of us are stepping up in position, because you got so many youth that when you listen to the music, you got so many youth right now, and it's not just fatherless homes. You're talking about motherless homes. You're talking about women that really never knew love, men that never really knew love, and you're talking about now a lot of us had to father and mother ourselves, and not even knowing what that looks like, what it seems like. So a lot of things, again, when I say I don't celebrate, it's because I can be feeling one thing, you can be feeling one thing. The world is feeling different things right now. And for me, it's certain things I would like to share, but then again, certain things I just be like, it's a challenge in itself trying to just simply be kind to myself and kind to others, because I know everyone is going through something. So I simply come here because I know others can relate and this will inspire people, or I simply write it down. A lot of people don't know the challenge, like daily, that just simply making it through the day with peace. I'm telling y'all, man, this shit is, you talking about a lot of us coming from homes that just to go a day without an argument, just to go a day without being verbally abused, just to go a day without being projected on. And you're talking about what mentally this does to a child. And then now we're at 20, 30, 40, 50 people at these ages now still trying to remove these entity attachments, this spiritual warfare, these things mentally that replay in people's mind like a fucking television series. So there's things, again, some days where I may not have the words. Some days I may not want to fuel that entity that I know people are fighting with. Now trying to recognize emotionally manipulative ways of people. or recognizing things that I once was and now I rid myself of. So it's like, it's a challenge in itself. A lot of us just really want a fucking break from the world. I don't care no more to put on a show. I'm tired. Like, a lot of us are tired. And giving up doesn't mean people are going to bring harm. No, I don't have no intentions on doing that. It's just people. I'm tired. Like, people are tired in the sense of, like, you can be mentally drained in a way to where, you know, you've been trying to give so much to others, and now you got to know what it is to pour into yourself. You know how much energy it is to simply try to even have an argument with someone that you don't want to have, or so much you're trying to be there for everyone else, talk to them, you know, trying to be like a helping hand, or, you know, try to, you know, be a mediator, anything with that. Like, y'all don't realize it's a challenge in itself. It's a lot with so much that people don't even realize how much it is to just simply, you're gonna have days you don't want to be around people. You don't want to be touched. You don't want to be talked to, because what a lot is not expressed, you know, and just even as a father, even as a man or someone who represents the patriarchal, it's challenging in itself when you just simply want to break from the world with everything. And a lot of people, and I know a lot of us can relate to this, but you're talking about the dysfunction, not caring to be a part of the dysfunction anymore. And people are going to say you're cold because you don't want to be around. And I'm like, it's not you. It's me. Some days I don't want to be around people. I don't want to choose. You're not getting it. You're not going to get it. I want to be to myself so I don't fucking spaz. So I don't freaking flip out, because my inner child is just simply, or my essence, you know, my higher self is just simply wanting to listen, wanting me to listen to the next, you know, to sit in silence, to listen, be by the water, or, you know, it's just simple things that, again, that why I watch the world from a bird's eye view, or watch the world and observe, and I could just see the front people putting on. I cannot do that. That's what I'm tired of. And, you know, a lot of us are just really, my heart is just calling out for people who accept all versions of me and what I'm becoming, and not being jealous of that, because I know myself to have done those things in the past. But now it's like, when I write, I'm realizing so much things that are coming up, apologizing to myself when I'm writing. Um, Men that don't know how to say these things, apologizing, you know, forgiving myself, forgiving others. Certain things I did not see, certain things I'm aware of now, reflecting, you know, so much of self-improvement, and then not trying to, you're trying to self-improve and self-analyze and come to self-realization, and not, you know, in that self-improvement of self, it's not trying to prove anything to anyone else. So again, you have, you when you look at a man, you're not just looking at a man. When you pull this father role off, when you pull all these things and see the spiritual essence, there's still someone there that is cleansing themselves of, you know, um, spiritual entity attachments, and, you know, a lot of things that people do not see and choose not to see because they're so focused surfacely. And and that's why I share these messages with you all, because, you know, I don't have the energy to sit back and be mad at what, or hold on to the past like others. It could just become draining. Everyone is different. But for me, I'm realizing that, you know, and this is not an attack on the father that I had, but it was very challenging for me to, for a lot of men that don't speak about this, it's like, people don't talk about the mothers that use their wounding to keep kids away, project their fears to not acknowledge their own accountability and face their own emotions and face their own things. This has happened. I've seen it happen through generations. So a lot of things do not surprise me. And not to mention, men do this as well. But it's also how a lot of us now are taking back our power, because a lot of us are tired because we're trying to heal ourselves. And not to mention, a lot of us are walking away from the knowing that people are simply going to dig themselves a ditch, and they can say and say whatever it is about who you are. They're going to attack your character. They're going to say everything. They're going to say some of the best things. But this new chapter now that we're walking in, there are others that can relate to us on a spiritual level and will accept us, because those days are over with now, trying to drag people along, trying to get them to figure out that, look, this is the journey. This is the healing journey. It's not going to look like this every day, but to just have someone that gets that, who acknowledges that, and not play around with it, don't see it as a trend, and realize how much this has a ripple effect on everyone. So I don't give a fuck about the titles, because my value is more than just anything material, and I know this and I see this. The confidence of, even if you have 1, 2, 3 outfits, the confidence of you just simply being your best in the midst of a storm, you're still simply who you are, and know that your connection to divine cannot be measured or projected onto about what it is and how you should be. And so a lot of us are in this place. I know myself, it's like I don't have time to live up to this expectations, where a lot of people, it's not even their expectations, it's their mother and fathers, or it's others' expectations of where they should be. And so these projections aren't even from them. It's what is going on inside of them, their own internal conflict. So these new things that we're walking into is beautiful, man. I can feel it. And just know a lot of people aren't going, and it's purposeful. So, and again, the reason I talk about this day, and that's why I tell people, even Mother's Day, Father's Day, it's not to tell people don't enjoy it how you want to, but I'm expressing the fact of how, from my own experience and other men that do not voice this, and or women, that mothers even that had to be in a fatherly position, because of carrying that energy, to know that they had to. I told my mother, the mother I came through, I told her, I said, I appreciate you even just for simply being there, being that, learning about my biological father. I think I was like 11 or 12. And, a lot of us now, you have people that have lost their father or didn't, everything is different for everyone. And for me, it's like to see someone talk about losing their father, and then for me to even have a father physically. And it's like I've had to have talks with him, because I'm at a place like now I'm responsible for me. I've already had to father myself and it's nothing against the men in my family, but they were the best that they could be. But I also start to see that it wasn't my calling or my path to be what they were doing. Because I realized that they didn't even have, a healthy or holistic patriarchal. No one did. So it's the courage, the responsibility now to even speak on these things, to even, what is a definition of a father? Because for me, it's like, it's no difference than me going out into those neighborhoods and you're seeing the kids that have fatherless homes that, they may not ever know what it is to feel a sense of empowerment, or, hey man, let me help you with this, or, Let's go play basketball. It's little simple things that people don't realize, like we all carry this father and motherly energy. So a lot of us, again, are not only had to do this within ourselves, but we also have had to nurture mother and father ourselves, these energies. And so when I said I'm tired, it's just like, y'all, you'd be surprised. It seemed like my first fucking 20 some odd years, 30, I was always in a position in a way to where like carrying others' burdens and trying to be there for them emotionally, trying to be there for them, in so many ways that I can no longer forget about myself. I will no longer forget about the importance of taking care of me. And even in learning how that even looks, you're unlearning, unpacking your own shit, reflecting on these masculine figures, authority figures, and all these other things, not to mention the misconception of what a father is. Then seeing how that affected the mothers because they didn't grow up in father, like they didn't get the love from their fathers. So a lot of this trickles down to where it's not just the us as men and sons that have been affected by this. Also the mothers that, again, they were the first teachers to teach the men, what it is to actually to that feminine aspect of who we are, because someday we would have those daughters, or that will become mothers. So even in the process of all of this, man, it's like in the process of all of this, it's like it's scary as fuck because a lot of us don't even know what a secure home is. A lot of us now are acknowledging these things because there can be a fear there because, okay, when I get this, how do I not fuck this up? The responsibility in that. And what you will see with a lot, what I would say on my journey, what you will see men trying to portray this, but it's the ideology of what other people told him what a man should be. But what about the importance of a man's mental health, his well-being? The idea, I think it was Erykah Badu was in an interview speaking about how for people to, like, it's crazy, and I'm gonna say it in my words, but you can look this up and research. But she was just saying, like, for simply a man to even make it out mentally of this ideology or this bullshit narrative of what a man should be, to mentally make it out of that, you're looking at it. Thank God we don't look like what we've been through. You're talking about you looking at it. That means the outside of a house could look like, oh, that's a good analogy. The outside of the house can look horrible, but the inside holds the value. That's just like ourselves. But you can have those who portray like the outside of a home that looks so valuable. What you see these houses now, they've been thrown up, made out of plywood and stuff, but the inside, the foundation, is rotted. It's dry rotted. Is it has no love in it. See, I'm just so grateful the fact that even though what I experienced with others, I've learned to reflect back in myself that in order for me to even acknowledge the father within me, I must acknowledge the mother, the feminine principle. I had to learn I had to unlearn and see the unevolved, unhealed versions of that feminine principle, and now to actually nurture the son within me, for that to rise up in me, to see the truth, to see the father, to rise up in that divine masculine aspect of something the world never really knew. Because you've seen a distorted mother and father. So now, how can you ever really say that you've seen what a divine masculine looks like or the divine mother looks like? Because that's not hiding from self. That means the love that I have, the value I have within myself is limitless. No matter how I want to express myself outwardly, about speaking my truth, about being honest with who I am, because That's what an innocent child would do. See, that's the whole concept. Again, when we all have our concepts of what a father and mother look like based off our own experiences. Some could say that's a no good father because he wasn't there for a child, but people don't know the underlying to relationships with that mother and that father and that man, or that woman and that man. It goes both ways. Because sometimes you can be simply wanting to choose peace. It doesn't mean you're not responsible. It's a lot that goes behind, and a lot that people do not see, to where, you know, just simple things to where I don't care to have those conversations with women about how much money do I have, you know, or what do you have to offer? What do you have to bring to the table? Well, what about our mental health first? What about our emotional being, our emotional well-being? How can we emotionally be fulfilled within ourselves to even manifest or bring this into reality physically? Because I've been around and I've experienced the people who have, what was the sister saying, like, are emotionally poor. They can have all these things, but emotionally, I've seen it firsthand. They can talk about with their mouth so well about their accomplishments, their success. And this is not discrediting people, but what about integrity? And that same integrity where I could be the same me inside of that home and outside of that home, but also still can be honest and transparent about who the fuck it is I am and becoming, and what no longer serves me. Do they care about your well-being? No matter who it is. Do these people care about your well-being? Are they really just trying to bring out the best in you, or are they just simply trying to mask who they really are and then go out into somewhere else and portray this differently? That's why a lot of us deserve those who seek to bring out the best in us. And if I seek to bring out the best in myself, I too deserve that in a reflection or a partner. That goes for any of you, men and women. Because deep down inside, your higher self, your inner child, whatever you want to call it, it's going to keep crying out. That suppressed anger, those things are going to come out. But do you really have someone that is there to really observe and analyze those things? Are you really healing together? Are you really diving deep, knowing that, you know what, this person is going through this? Or, you know what, today I'm just going to respectfully distance myself. Today I'm going to simply realize, like, you know, this can be very sensitive for them. So again, it's like a lot of things that aren't expressed is because this is what a lot is coming up with us, is that some men we can co-create with someone from a place of simply wanting to be fulfilled. But in that fulfillment, there comes consequences with that, you know. And I can go way more to depth about this, but it's just simply like, it's so many things that go with that. There's so many things that go with just what it is to be a man, or what it is to represent, to be a father. How does that look? Because without the father, there can be no son. And without the son, they could, you know, you're talking about the mother, you're talking about the princess, a lot of things. So we're trying to recover these things. And in that process, it looks different for everyone. But this is what makes you unique. This is what makes you amazing, not to give up, to spread your message, you know, and realize how beautiful we all are and we're becoming, and continue to flourish. You know, I just wanted to share with y'all, like, what it meant for me on this day, or in the days coming. You know, a lot of people are just, we're mentally just, I'm just at a place where I just, you know, you just need to get away. Some of us just want to be away Just mentally be in a place where we can just be at peace, no distractions, not the world projecting on us what we should be doing, how we should be doing it. That's why a lot of shit don't even resonate with me no more. A lot of things, a lot of people won't get it. They're not supposed to. So just remember to breathe. To my men out there, keep your head up. Just know, to even the young men that are going to become fathers, you are loved, man. You are amazing. You are beautiful. I will be offering some of my mentorship eventually. But again, take time out to take care of you. I don't know who need to hear that. Take time out to take care of you. There are others, once you align yourself, there are others that will help and guide you on this mission. you know, and I didn't think there was, but it's very important, especially to be surrounded by those who realize that you are also blossoming. At the same time, you're also filtering and cleansing who it is you were, who it is the world told you you were, and how you should be. All those things being projected onto you. And then now really coming into your own, being secure within yourself again emotionally, because again, all of us are recovering that aspect of ourselves, what it is to even feel a sense of what success, what love, what truth, what honesty, that joy, that bliss, all those things not just feels like, but look like, so it can be reflected into your reality. You are worthy of that. I am worthy of that. Tell yourself that I am worthy of bliss. I am worthy of harmony. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of joy. Again, I am embracing my journey with childlike joy. Again and again and again. And there are others that are in your reality. This will show up, and the other energies will fade away, because how energy is going to play out is that I'm realizing now is that everyone cannot go, but it's also in a sense of that knowing that they're not supposed to, because they too have to do inner work. And I can respectfully, leave in peace, whether in the past it would just be something differently, like, some self-sabotaging behavior, but that peace hit different once you found it inside, and realizing, like, hold on to that peace and know that it's your birthright to live abundantly, prosperously, joyously, to express yourself through your arts, through whatever it is. That's your birthright. Peace and blessing. Shalom.